What is fat burn? So a lot of people, we call it a metabolic enhancer. A lot of people, when they think about fat burning products, they tend to be thermogenics, which they basically increase your metabolism, but you're also going to feel they often are really packed with caffeine, other sort of stimulants. You're going to feel kind of jittery, maybe like sweaty and hot. And they work to varying degrees, but the side effects are not so great. So fat burn is our metabolic enhancer, and I would not necessarily call it a thermogenic because it doesn't really work in that way, and it doesn't have those effects like typical fat burn thermogenic products do. Um, one of my favorite products because it's easy to use, it's easy to incorporate into your routine, and you're not necessarily going to feel an effect, but if you use it over a period of time, you will start to see an effect in the mirror. So what fat burn does is it helps your body to convert what's called white fat, which is the stubborn fat that we accumulate around our waist and hips. It converts it into beige fat, which is a more efficient source of energy. So your body can actually use that fat more easily for energy, which means you're going to be burning more calories. And that's what's great about the product is you don't actually have to change anything about your lifestyle. You are going to burn more calories sitting still on the couch just by taking this product. Now, we don't recommend that. We want you to live a healthy lifestyle. We want you to exercise and eat right. But if let's say you're already doing that, doing those things, you're going to get an extra boost of calorie burn just by taking this product. So it supports the natural fat burning processes by helping your body to use fat for energy, supports healthy weight management, helps maintain a lean body composition, helps reduce fat accumulation in the trunk area. So that's another cool thing is that you see targeted benefits with this product. In a scientific study, more fat was lost. I think it was 65% of the fat loss was specifically around that trunk area, which is where a lot of people struggle to lose weight. It's going to support your body's metabolism for continuous and prolonged fat burning, and it's going to help you to feel more energized. Some of the key ingredients, we've got some B vitamins in there that's going to give you a little bit of an energy boost, some green coffee bean extract for also sort of a little bit of energy. But then also really the powerhouse of this product is an ingredient blend called Sinatrol. And it's a combination of Mediterranean citrus fruits, so like sweet orange, blood orange, grapefruits, and then an ingredient called guarana, which all kind of work together synergistically to help your body burn more fat. That's my high level summary. Lisa, do you want to add anything to that?
No, I think we can just kind of jump on, kind of move on from here because you've probably heard of a lot of products that talk about helping you lose fat faster. What makes this product different? Why should you even keep listening on to this webinar and understand more about this product? And it really comes down to the LifeVantage difference, which is activation. We'll see if it actually lets me change my slide. There we go. Okay. Our difference is activation. Anyone who's not familiar with activation, I hope at this point you are US consultants because we've been preaching this message for a while, but activation is what makes LifeVantage different. It's understanding that as you age and as your body is faced with environmental factors, processes either speed up or slow down. And as a result, your body is feeling the effects of what we commonly see as aging, see or feel as aging. And a lot of times we just accept that that's how it has to be. We're going to just feel old. We're just going to look old. We're just going to not be able to live the optimal life that we once did when we were younger. I think about my young, almost 13-year-old twins. They're dancers. They have boundless energy. They're going to go today and do like 3 hours of dance, and they're going to come back and they could still run a marathon. They're living that great life right now. And then I think of myself in my late 30s, how much has changed, how much has slowed down, how much my energy has gone down, how much has slowed down. And that's where activation comes in. It's going to the root of what has slowed down or sped up in your body with age and stress, and working alongside your body to kind of bring those natural processes back into balance so they are working their most efficiently. We're not trying to just put a Band-Aid solution on your body's processes. That can be short-term. A lot of products take that route, Short-term effects, not addressing the problem, so not a long-term solution. But if you are going to the root, which we are with activation, you are really putting in place a long-term solution to feeling and living better in your healthiest life. So we want you to feel like my almost 13-year-olds and have that energy, have that kind of youth, full vitality. And that's our activation difference. And that's what makes our fat burn different, is we look at it through this activation lens. Now, the science of activation with fat burn can be pretty complex. And I've talked about it on stage before, and you can see some eyes start glossing over because it is pretty technical. So I'm just going to give you kind of a one-sentence summary of what activation is for fat burn and why we are different. So here it is. Fat burn is activating your body's natural fat burning mechanisms, and they slow with age or other sources of stress. And they are going to convert fat tissue into a form that helps burn more calories. So your processes for burning fat become less efficient with age, and just in the world we live in, you're not being able to burn the calories like you would like to. Your exercise is not quite as efficient because of that. This helps bring it more into balance with that activation approach so that your processes are working the way they should. And as Tyler mentioned earlier, it's all about the types of fat. Now, there's labels of good and bad fat, but they each have their uses. Now, brown fat is the fat that you have. It's actually 5% of your body weight when you're born, because when you're born, you really need mechanisms to keep your body warm. It keeps you from shivering in the cold, and it's really burning that energy. Now, as we kind of transition and get older, there's kind of more of that accumulation of white fat. Now, that white fat will store energy, it provides insulation, and it actually helps to house fat-soluble vitamins, so there's a purpose to it. We don't want to get rid of it. Once again, it goes back to that word I said earlier, balance. It's an excessive amount of white fat that can cause health issues, and that can lead to this excessive weight gain. And so what we want to do with fat burn is create this beige fat, which is essentially conveying the effects and some of the properties of the brown fat that burns energy very efficiently on our white fat. So our white fat becomes more efficient at burning calories. So it's not getting rid of all your white fat, but it's making the white fat that you have more efficient. So you're being able to get the energy you need, but you're also reactivating these fat burning mechanisms so that you're able to more efficiently burn calories and gain energy through that way. So it's going to that source. And so once again, it's kind of a little bit of kind of going back to when you were in that more optimal state, you had a little bit more of that ratio of that more energy burning brown fat when you're older. And so that's kind of the science behind it on a very quick level. Just know it activates your body's natural fat burning mechanisms. But there are 3 things that we want you to remember about this product, because there's lots of things you can say about our products, and I think sometimes we get too complex. And one of our kind of focuses this year is make it simple, keep it fast. Like, we want to give you the points you need, show our differentiation, and then let you run with it and do what you do best. And so here are those 3 points that we're going to cover real quick. First, burn more calories. We did some calculations, and you're going to burn the equivalent to about 4,000 steps without additional activities. That's about 180 calories. There's some disclaimers at the bottom because I can't do it for every weight and every height. But if you're an average height and weight, 180 pounds, 5'6" to 5'11", that's about what that's equivalent to about that 4,000 steps. It will be close regardless for everyone.
And Lisa,
Yeah.
just to reiterate, like, that is without doing anything. Like I said,
Correct.
you could just sit on the couch and you're going to burn 180 calories or have the equivalent of 4,000 steps without doing anything. We want you to do things. We want you to be active, but that's pretty cool that I can just take these 2 little capsules and get that benefit.
It's like an energy, like an exercise enhancer. It's giving yourself a kickstart to your daily activities. Like, you think about your whatever smart device you may have, smartwatch, and you kind of try to close your rings. This gives you that 4,000 step head start on closing your rings for the day. But we still want you to move. There's additional health benefits that come from that, but this is giving you that extra boost to burn more calories. So first, you're going to want to burn more calories. Second is the targeting of those problem areas. As Tyler mentioned earlier, that white fat is that stubborn fat that kind of accumulates around your kind of waist and hips. It's what you seem to never be able to use because it is that white fat that doesn't burn as efficiently and it gathers. But this specific, the clinical on the Sinitrol showed that 65% of the weight loss was in this specific waist and hip area. So you're really targeting those problem areas, which is not something that a lot of products can do, right, Tyler?
Correct, correct. Like lots of people try to make claims around, oh yeah, we're specifically going to target your stomach, your hips, whatever. We have the science that backs us up. We can say there are targeted results with this product.
Yeah, because both the scientific mechanism makes sense because we're beiging that white fat so that it burns more easily. And we know where that white fat accumulates, which are in these problem areas. And we have the clinical results to show that this actually did take place. So we have kind of that 1-2 punch of knowing how it works and then seeing that proven out through the clinical. So burn more calories, target problem areas. And then the third is that boosting of your fat burning mechanisms. So it's increasing that ratio of beige fat, which burns more easily. So you're transforming that white fat and giving it more characteristics of the brown fat, making it beige so that it burns more efficiently and you're burning more calories. So kind of that quick summary, if you're going to talk about this product, burn more calories, target problem areas, boost your fat burning mechanisms, and you're going to see results. We suggest that you still combine this with a healthy diet, healthy movement, whatever that looks like for you, but this is going to give you that kickstart that will really help boost your results.
Thank you, Lisa. I think that was a great summary of the science and also the 3 easy, simple, fast things that we can remember when we're talking about fat burn.